cryptocurrency one way. We're doing this to empower ourselves, me inclusive, even the resource person. We've all heard about cryptocurrency at one time or the other. So some of us have been talking about it. That's why we came about this group, Continental Group. So what we do is we have people in Canada, America, Nigeria. The initial idea was, what can we all do together? How can we synergize? What business can we do together? And there's so many things we can do, but we're not in a rush to do anything. But we know crypto is in vogue now. So, okay, it's something we can do individually, but we need to understand it. We need to know how it works. We need to know how it benefits us. So we have brought to you today Mr. Yomi Martins. I've known him for at least 25 years. So he's a fantastic guy. He's the MD and CEO of Black Martins and Company Limited, a training and financial services consulting firm. He's based in Nigeria. He's a PhD holder in business administration. He's a candidate at the UNICAF University in Zambia. He also holds an MBA from the Business School in Netherlands and a BSA from the University of Lagos. So he's been in banking for a long time. His banking career spans Citibank Nigeria, Access Bank, PLC, Bank PHP, Keystone Limited, in various departments, including branch services, clearing, internal audit, investigation, product development, business analytics, and commercial banking. He has cumulatively 20 years experience in banking and financial services, including consulting and training. His core training competence include branch operation, product development, internal audit and investigation, process reengineering, marketing, customer services, digital asset management, and other soft skills training. So that is our resource man, and I'm going to leave it to him. So we're going to listen to him for about an hour. He's going to take us through the foundation and what have you, digital asset, cryptocurrency, and everything. It's a foundational education of where it started, where it's going, and where it will end, and how it will benefit us. So, Yomi, I won't say anything about introducing digital asset. So let's just welcome Mr. Yomi Martins. Let's just give him a round of applause in the Zoom way. We can clap physically, we can send our emojis. And so, Yomi, you have an hour. And after that, we have a 30-minute question and answer session. So that's roughly, so I'll be your timekeeper. And I know a lot of us might have to leave after an hour, 30 minutes, but you will still be here if there are more questions. So, Mr. Yomi Martin, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
I hope everybody can hear me. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Good evening. I hope every other person can hear me loud and clear. I want one or two people to signify that they can hear me. Okay, fantastic. Bukola can hear me. Thank you so much, Balo. That's what we call you. Thank you so much. I'm really honored to have been invited to give this short talk. And I thank God you mentioned something. You said we can't be exhaustive here. That's why I'll do something for this session. I'll try and even round up in less than 1 hour. I have my reasons for saying I'll round up in less than 1 hour, because I know the most interesting part of this webinar or Zoom meeting, if I'll call it, is the question and answer section. Because I can only touch relevant areas and all that. I would not be able to go too deep, because I can't go deep. Even though I have a wealth of knowledge in this space, I won't be able to go too deep in just 1 hour. So let's dive in straight up. I'll start by sharing my screen, and I'll ask if everybody can see my screen before I go on. Can everybody see my screen? Can anybody signify if my screen can be seen before I move on?
Not yet. Okay, I can see it now.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So we're going to be talking about introduction to digital assets, and we're going to be focusing on cryptocurrency and Forex trading. Basically, when we talk about digital assets, a lot of people just quickly assume that, these guys are talking about cryptocurrency and they are talking about Forex, as if that's actually the only digital asset that we have. I will shock you today. I will really shock you, at least for those that are not aware. Paulo has already given an introduction, so I would not go into introducing myself again. I'll just dive into what we are going to be looking at today. We are going to be looking at what are digital assets. We're going to be looking at understanding the blockchain and cryptocurrency. I'll be as elementary as possible, right? We are going to be looking at what Forex trading is, similarities and differences between cryptocurrency and Forex trading. That is also very important for us. Then we're going to be looking at opportunities in cryptocurrency and Forex trading. Then we're going to be looking at issues in digital asset management, because digital asset management has actually brought a lot of issues, which we are going to dive into, and I know you'll find it very, very interesting. If I may say this, we might be quick to forget a couple of things. So if you would like, you can help yourself out with a pen and paper so that at every point, if you want to ask some questions, you can just quickly note it down so that you don't forget, because I want to really add value to the 1 hour we are going to spend together. If this is starting in 1 hour, that means we are looking at 7:12. So I'll try as much as possible to keep to time, even though my time is being kept at the same time. So let's move on. Now, what are digital assets basically? Digital assets are anything that exists in a digital format and comes with the right to use. There are two elements: exists in the digital format and comes with the right to use. Those are the most integral parts of what digital assets are, right? It comes, right, in the digital format, and it comes with the right to use. That means people can use it. Now, what I laughed earlier when I said, I know a lot of people would just jump at digital assets are cryptocurrencies and Forex. No. You have things like, apart from cryptocurrencies and Forex trading, you have things like audio content, musical content. They band, blah, 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 their musical content on the airwaves. They collect money for it. It's in digital form, and people can use it. Do you understand? That fits the classification. You have motion pictures, films, you have other relevant data. The list is endless. And you can use those digital assets on your personal computer, laptop, tablets, and all that stuff. Now, let me even shock you. With the advent of the metaverse, we might not be able to go into in-depth into what the metaverse is, but the metaverse has to do with augmented reality, in which you can feel, you can almost touch, basically, what is real, but is not physically with you. That is, in a nutshell, what the metaverse is. And an example of what digital assets can, with the advent of the metaverse, digital assets in terms of property has actually also come up, right? You have people buying land on decentralized, for instance. They have a token called Mana, right? On decentralized, you have people buying land, real estate, and all that stuff, developing those real estates and all that stuff. You also have people, right now with the advent of the blockchain, you have people exchanging title documents, right? Instead of you going to, what do you call it, lands in Lagos State or wherever it is in the United States to exchange documents or titles to your land. People actually exchange titles and all that stuff. They have started, it hasn't been wildly accepted, but they have actually started exchanging title and storing it on the blockchain. So you can see that the world is actually changing. We first started up with, what do you call it, trade by barter. Trade by barter moved to we exchanging, using physical items like cowries. Depending on the culture, there are lots of physical items used. They use copper, they use cowrie, they use gold coins. Then fiat currencies came in, as in your physical currency in paper or polyester, as the case may be, right? Now, as the world is moving in terms of the definition of money, right? It has moved from fiat now, right, to what we call digital currencies and digital assets. And that's what we are going to be discussing today. So you see, it's nothing strange. The world is just evolving. And as the world is evolving, we must actually evolve with it. so that we take advantage of the opportunities and the possibilities that those evolution in what we define as money presents to us, right? Okay, fantastic. Let's move on. Now, types of digital assets. I've mentioned that already. You can have illustrations, logo. You have artworks being sold on the internet as high as $100,000, $700,000, and the rest of it. And the metaverse and metadata, which I described earlier as in augmented reality, is also changing the face of how things are in the digital form. Okay, now that understood. Now let's pick cryptocurrency and digital as a digital asset first, before we now look at Forex trading, then we'll look at the similarities. What is Forex trading? I've given a definition. I'm sorry, what is a blockchain? I've given a definition here, but I would not, okay, let me read out the definition first before I describe it in a layman's point of view, right? Blockchain is a system in which a record of transaction made in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency are maintained across several computers that are linked in a peer-to-peer network. Now, let me explain that to you in a layman's language, right? Myself and Mr. Balogun wants to transact, probably exchange a coin or exchange a token and all that stuff. What happens is that it doesn't just go between myself and, if a transaction is done, it doesn't just go between myself and Mr. Balogun. There is a verification process in which it goes through their verifiers, right? It goes through Mr. Adebayo. He has a copy of that transaction in a ledger. Let's look at it like an Excel ledger, right? Mr. Olade Ayodele Mayomi also has a copy. Dolakbo also has a copy. So verification of that transaction process is done, right, in a decentralized manner in which it authenticates that that transaction is actually valid before that transaction is completed. I hope in a layman's language that is a bit clear further to this definition that has been given. If it's not clear, please note in your notepad, then I can always revisit it to explain it further. Now, what are cryptocurrencies, right? They are digital currencies in which transactions are verified and records maintained by a decentralized system using cryptography, right? Rather than a centralized authority, right? That means it operates on the blockchain. Several ledgers are created, transactions are executed, and they are validated. Now, let me quickly say, because a lot of people, this question might come up, but I want to quickly answer it before it even comes up so that if you have it in your notepad, you can quickly strike it out. Cryptocurrency is different from CBDC. CBDC, central bank digital currency, is different from cryptocurrency. And the major difference is this. Even though they are both digital currencies, right, and they both operate on the blockchain, right, the major difference is that for CBDC, which is central bank digital currency, it is centralized, right? A central body controls it, regulates it, and all that stuff. But for cryptocurrency, it is regulated by the members of that network and every other person on the blockchain related to that transaction. So that is the major difference, because a lot of people always confuse cryptocurrency and digital currency. So I need to quickly clarify that. Now, let's look at the difference, because a lot of people would have heard, this question will also come up. A lot of people would have heard, oh, a token, what is a token, what is a coin? People use it so loosely. I want to buy a token, I want to buy a coin. Let me differentiate this to you very clearly. Coins are just methods of payment, while tokens may present a company's shares, give access to products, or services and perform many other functions. Coins are currencies that can be used for buying and selling, right? Coins operate independently while tokens have other specific use cases. Let me give you an example for those who are a bit conversant with cryptocurrency operation. USDT, that is United States dollar tether, right? USDT is a coin because it doesn't have any other use case, right? Okay, maybe the additional use case you can give to it that will turn it into a token is because people can use it to pay fees. But aside that, it is principally a coin, and it is a stable coin because it is pegged to the United States dollars. But meanwhile, there are tokens, and a good example of tokens is SLP, Sweet Love Potion, SLP. You can use it as a gaming token to buy your access to their gaming platform. You can use it to also pay your charges on their platform. You can use it to do so many other things. Things like Mana, which is also a smart contract that you can use in buying land, you can use in doing so many other things. So it's not just a currency, it has a use case. So that's the major difference between a coin and a token. Now, what moves cryptocurrency? I must tell you quickly that cryptocurrency is a very, very volatile market, extremely volatile. It can go as high as one. There are some coins that are newly introduced. We'll come into that when we are talking about how to make money in cryptocurrency. There are some coins that are introduced, and within 24 hours, believe me, they can hit 500 cents, as high as that. Now, for old coins, you can actually lose as high as 40 to 50% within a week. That's how volatile it is. Let me tell you something. The market dipped after Bitcoin reached its peak of about $67,000 in November. The market dipped around December, and up till now is still in the dip. Although when I analyzed my candles today, I realized that we are going to be having a bull run very, very soon. Mark my words. From the month of late January into February, we are going to be having a bull run. But that's another subject. Now, between that December or November, when Bitcoin hit its all-time high at 67,000, it actually dropped till today. Other coins, actually, not Bitcoin particularly, they actually dropped. Some coins actually dropped as low as 30, 40%. Between those, just like a month plus. Bitcoin itself dropped from 67,000 up to about 41,000. So you can imagine it is very volatile. And before you know what is happening, when market is speaking right now, it can go as high as the 100,000 because that's actually what we are expecting, especially from the analysis of Plan B, which I follow quite a lot, right? Now, what are the things that actually moved cryptocurrencies? One, the supply. Some coins have infinite supplies. They keep on minting them. And some coins have stable supply. It is always better to buy coins that have finite supply, right? We'll go into all that in detail once we have a more lengthy class. But that's one. Now, use case. The more use case, that is, we are talking about tokens now, not coins. The more use case a token has, right, the more it will be in demand and the more people will want to get those tokens, and the price will definitely rise. It's a simple law of demand and supply. Now, market capitalization is also important. How many coins are in issue? It might be, let's say for sake of discussion, 1 billion coins. What is the initial issue price? Then that will give you the market capitalization. The price multiplied by the coins in issue. Now, press. When we're talking about price, we are talking about fundamental analysis. Because in cryptocurrency and Forex trading, most of the time, we are, not even most of the time, basically, we are looking at fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Fundamental analysis has to do with news, bad press, news on events happening around the tokens, which will allow the coins or the tokens go high or come or crash in value. Then technical analysis, when you are looking at the Fibonacci, points of support and point of resistance. I'm now getting technical. We will talk about that at a more technical class. We'll look at Fibonacci point of resistance and support. We'll looking at the exponential moving averages and so many other indicators that we use in analysis. So price has to do with good news and bad news. Good news and bad news, a typical example is Dogecoin. If Elon Musk, my very good friend, says that Dogecoin is the best in the world, everybody starts buying Dogecoin and Dogecoin price will skyrocket, right? That's a typical example of price. Or if Ethereum says that they have just developed another layer of their verification system, for instance, people develop confidence that they've heard in the news that they developed a new layer and they start buying. Those are fundamentals. Now, integration and adoption. Gradual adoption, everything new takes a gradual adoption process, right? Countries now have started getting into CBDC. That means they realize that it's important having a digital format of their currency so that they can exchange it, especially for international trade and all that stuff. That will have its ripple effect on the adoption and integration into cryptocurrencies as well. And integration and adoption obviously will bring demand. That is a no-brainer. So prices will obviously go high. Now we're talking about key events. In key events, we're talking about fundamentals as well, because key events has to do with news. We're talking about major events such as regulatory updates. Regulation has actually been affecting Bitcoin prices, right? People say Bitcoin has died several times, right? And it has woken up also several times. When China sneezes, Bitcoin goes down, but it goes back up. China says that they have banned Bitcoin for like since how many times right now? I can't even count. But the more they say they have banned Bitcoin, it goes down and it goes up again, because China's pronouncement that they have banned Bitcoin cannot actually stop Bitcoin from moving. So that's the power, right? Now, security breaches also affect the prices. When there's an announcement that there's a security breach, that's why it's always important having a multi-layer security for your wallets. What do I mean by multi-layer security? Apart from your normal password, which should be alpha, numeric, and special symbols, you should also ensure that not even probably, I will advise you always to have a Google Authenticator or a Microsoft Authenticator, depending on the platform you are using. That will create a multi-layer security for your wallet, so you don't really have so much to worry about. And let me tell you something, even there are security breaches, most of these exchanges, right? That's why I trade with the big ones, right? Binance is where I trade the most. That's the bulk, where the bulk of my account is and all that stuff. They have insurance for their funds. So even when there are security breaches, it's not as if they are not insured. So you just need to take a chill pill and relax. It's not that bad. Even banks all over the world have challenges of security, and they also insure. So you don't need to be afraid, right? You don't need to be afraid, but just make sure that you choose the right exchange to trade with. My time is fast going. Okay, fantastic. Now, opportunities in cryptocurrencies. Where can we make money? I'm sure you have been itching to learn about that. One is HODL, what we traders call HODL. HODL, hold on to dear life. What do we mean by hold on to dear life? You buy a coin today and you don't have a short-term sale in mind. You are looking at it that the projection for Bitcoin is going to be 100,000. Okay, why not plug it in now at 43,000? I'm not selling this year. I'm not selling next year. It's only when my target is met that I'm selling. That is a way to play in the market. That is just one way. The second way is to do spot trading. Spot trading has to do with buying and selling within short period of time and making very, very tiny margins. You can do that. You can just put a margin of 1.5% and you buy and sell. Once it goes up, after doing your analysis, you sell at 1.5% profit, and people do that a lot. I do that manually. And a lot of people do that manually. And you can also do that with a robot. And we are going to go into the robot part pretty soon. But let me get through with this. A robot will ensure that you don't need to start staring at your screen all day. You just put the parameters that you need there, or join a sync group, which is a copy trading group, and you are okay. We are going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of all those things. Now, we also have the margin on the leverage trading, in which you borrow money to trade. I have 100 USDT, and I want to buy Bitcoin because I think that Bitcoin price is going to go up. I can afford to borrow money to add to that 100 USDT that I have and all that stuff, pay the fees because of my estimation that Bitcoin price is going to rise. But that is extremely dangerous. Those that do margin and leverage trading, you have to be very, very sure of your position, and you can't be sure of anything in this world. That's why it's important to trade with your own money, right? Because if you lose your leverage and you are borrowed on it, you can lose all your money. It's not just a percentage of your money, you can lose all your money in leverage trading. Now, the most exciting part of it for me is pre-sale purchases. Pre-sale purchases are purchases before the launch of those coins. All the popular coins that you have today, Mana, SLP, Algo, all the rest, there are so many of them, right, that you have today, always have a pre-sale. When in their formative stage, they will sell part of those tokens before they are launched in any exchange. Now, if you have get hold of those tokens, a token that will be launched for one US dollar might be sold to you at pre-sale as low as 20 cents. So you can imagine, without doing anything, once you wait that period and it's launched, you're making 80 cents like that, just like that. It's as crazy as that. Now, another thing that gets me excited is Launchpad. When it's about to launch, they have already done their pre-sale and it's about to launch. At the point of launch, Binance will probably tell you that you should keep some BNB tokens so that you can bid for, because it's not automatic. You have to bid, to purchase at launch stage. And I tell you something, I have seen coins that have made 1,000% within the day in which they are launched. Coins that probably started at 0.075, and at the end of the day, they closed that day with like $2 or $3. It has happened so many times. Some boys are cleaning out on that as well. Now, you can stake if you are risk averse. You can stake or put your money in fixed deposit or flexible deposit. I don't use Nigerian banks most of the time. I put my money in flexible deposit. Like I was telling Adeola before this program started, on BNB, on Binance, as of today, you can check it out after this program, right? On flexible savings, on USDT, flexible savings, I'm earning 10%. There's no Nigerian bank that will give you that even on fixed deposits. Flexible savings means if I put my money in today, once it has done 24 hours, I can withdraw it at any time. And they will now curate my APY. That is my annual percentage yield. No Nigerian bank or no bank, I don't know of any bank in the world that will give you 10%. Even in the United States, I don't think there is any bank that will give you 10%. And USDT is an equivalent of United States dollars, right? They benchmark it as a stable coin to that. So you are earning without using the bank, and you have access to your money anytime. Once you liquidate your flexible savings, you can sell through peer-to-peer. Nobody needs to know that you are trading in cryptocurrency if your country has laws against that. Trade through peer-to-peer. Nobody needs to put in narration that it was cryptocurrency transaction that you have done and all that stuff, and everybody is happy. Another way of making money, which used to be very popular, but a couple of people still do it, is mining, in which you mine, you do verifications on the blockchain for various cryptocurrencies, and you earn some tokens in reward of verifying transactions. That's what mining is all about. There is hardware mining, in which you have to have the mining infrastructure, And there is also software mining in which you download programs and all that stuff or systems on your phone or your laptop and you mine and you get some reward. So that is that for that. Okay, fantastic. Now let's move on. I hope I'm not too fast, but you know I have a lot to cover and I need to just speed up. Now let's look at what Forex trading is. Forex trading is just basically about trading in Forex, as in foreign exchange. Dollar to pounds, pounds to yen, yen to yuan, and all the rest of them. That's what Forex trading is all about. But when we're talking about Forex trading as a digital asset, we're talking about Forex trading in terms of its digital form, right? That's what we are talking about here. Now, there are 4 types of opportunities in Forex trading, which we are going to go into right now. We have the swing trading, we have the position trading, we have the scalping, and we have the day trading. Now, for all these 4 types of opportunities that we have to make money in the Forex market, basically it depends on the time you are willing to hold that particular currency. The same thing that you use in trading Forex is also what you use in trading cryptocurrency. You use fundamentals and technical. You use fundamental and technical also in Forex. Now for scalping, scalping is like spot trading, right? We have scalping also in cryptocurrency, in which you are looking for very small percentage increases in seconds or minutes, and that trade is over. Day trading, you are looking at, maybe you are trading for a day maximum to make sure that the coin goes up and all that stuff. But the scalping and day trading are short-term trades. Now, when you're talking about swing trading, we are talking about trading for several days or sometimes weeks before the, what do you call it, the value goes up. For instance, during the American election, it's a no-brainer. If a popular candidate wins, right, the American dollar will obviously appreciate in value. That is fundamental. If there's an earthquake in Japan, right, irrespective of the fact that it wasn't an earthquake on the currency yen, right, but you'll find that based on that news that there was an earthquake in Japan, and they know that probably will affect international trade because people need to recover, the yen will obviously drop in value. So those are some of the things we look at. Now, position trading is you're trading for a long term, right? We trade for weeks, months, and years. So those are the 4 major types of opportunities, you know, in Forex trading. Now, the advantage of Forex trading is that you can trade both long and short term. The market is open 24 hours because we have different time zones all over the world, 5 days a week, right? Forex can be traded from 9 p.m. Sunday to 10 p.m. Friday GMT, that's Greenwich Mean Time. Now, there is high liquidity in Forex trading. This figure is actually even modest. Some literature that I've read say that Forex trading volume every blessed day is over 5 trillion USDT. So it's a very, very liquid market. It's a very, very liquid market. Forex is also volatile, but it is not as volatile as cryptocurrency market. You rarely find a 40% decrease in a country's currency value within a week or a month. It is rare. But I'm not telling you that cases like that do not happen. Let me give you a typical example. In Venezuela, for instance, you know their currency is, I'm sorry for Venezuela people that are here, their currency is almost like tissue paper because they have actually had so much inflation. So for currencies like that, they must have dropped that much. But it is not a general principle that currencies will drop in value that fast within a very short time and space, right? Now, you can leverage also the same way you can leverage as in borrow money to trade in Forex, the same way you can do in cryptocurrency. You can trade on a wide variety of currencies. We have about, is it 50 or 52 countries in Africa alone? And you have, how many countries do we have worldwide? So, you know, you have hundreds of currency pairs you can trade with. Now, you can also trade with tools, especially for beginners. You might not be able to understand charts. So the easiest thing to do when you are trading is to trade with robots, right? Which we are going to go into briefly. But if you want, because I organize classes also, as in specialized classes based on bespoke solutions, right? We can always talk about those kind of classes after this particular program. So a very good way out is using robots for beginners, as I said earlier. Let's move on. Now, I said robots basically are the easiest way out. Robots are used for both Forex, cryptocurrencies, stock, and all that stuff. They are automated programs. They use algorithms. Some of them are quantitative robots. Some of them use algorithms and all that stuff. So you can obviously use robots to trade the market, stock, currency, and all the rest. Now, I'm going to mention, this is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. Even though I use these two robots, I will say this is not financial advice. I would like you to do your own background study. I've been using these platforms for several months now, these robots for several months right now. So I would like you to do your, I'm just trying to tell you the opportunities in robots, since robots are the easiest way you can hit the ground running and start trading. So I repeat, this is not financial advice. So I'll be looking at the Royal Q robot and the Intelligence Prime Capital robot. Now, the Royal Q robot is basically a quantitative robot, right? The robot will never sell at a loss, but users may experience floating losses for a long period of time due to market volatility, right? The robot already has inbuilt strategy for trading. All you need to do is fund your account, select the coins you want to buy, and the robot already has inbuilt parameters you can follow. If you don't want to follow the inbuilt parameters, you can change the parameters that the robot has given you, or copy trade, because they have what they call sync strategies. I also have a sync strategy called the Cool Ninja on the Royal Q trading robot, in which people copy my strategy and all that stuff. So you can copy whoever's strategy you want if you are not an experienced trader. But let me tell you something very quickly. Copy trading has its advantage and its disadvantage. You must be able to look at the person or the organization or the institution you are copying, because you are leaving your faith in that person's hands, right? You must copy those that have a track record of successes and not just jump into copy trading anybody because you don't know how to trade. It's very, very important you realize that. Now, there are so many other kinds of, that's why I said I'm not recommending any robot to you. There are so many other robots that you can use that perform fantastically well, that I've used or my friends have used at one point or the other. You have the 3Commas, which is very, very highly rated. You have the Pionix, you have the Crypto Trader, you have the Trality, you have Gumbots, and all that stuff. Now, the special thing about Royal Q is that they use the martingale dollar cost averaging. Let me just give you a synopsis of the martingale dollar cost averaging strategy. What the martingale dollar cost averaging does is that, for instance, you buy a coin for $10. The price drops by 5%. You buy two more. That is $20 more to water down your entry price, right? Assuming it drops again at the time you buy two more, that means you have $30 in your position. You decide to probably buy four more to water down your entry point again. That is how the martingale dollar cost averaging works. We can go neck deep into that in other, what do you call it, in other meetings that we might have. Now, that is all for the crypto side. Let me introduce you to another robot. There are so many other robots because I can't pick all robots available. And this is actually not the only robot I use. I use several other robots, but because of the time limit we have, I would only be able to talk to you about a few of the robots that I've used along the line and which has actually delivered, believe me, good value. At some other time, I can show you my results, my screenshots as regards the daily income that actually come on various trading accounts using these robots, you know, at various points in time. Now, the intelligence prime capital Forex trading robot is an artificial intelligence robot that trades the Forex market using the scalping method. And what did I say about the scalping method? Very small percentages, close your trade, go pay your broker's fee, go and sleep, right? That is that for intelligence prime capital. Now, at this point, I'll try and compare so that you also have the mindset of really understanding, what do I really want to do? You have a choice of doing crypto with the robot. You have a choice of doing Forex with the robot. But let me tell you, let me even compare the two, the difference between trading with Forex, Royal Q, and intelligence prime capital. I'm doing this so that you know that I'm giving you a very, very objective view. And you can also compare and contrast other robots as well. Now, the Royal Q uses the martingale dollar cost averaging. That means you need to replenish your accounts every now and then when your position falls until you get back into profit. But for the intelligence prime capital, you don't need to replenish. You have your trading capital there. If it's $100, it's there. And the robot trades for you, scalps, it makes profit for you, it closes. There are few trades in losses, but overall, you will always consistently make profits over time. Now, cryptocurrency market is volatile, right? I've explained that before. You can have dips as much as 50%. But Forex market is not that volatile. Now, I'm comparing both markets right now. But in the volatility of the crypto market, you can actually make crazy money. Like I said earlier, you can make as much as within minutes, you can make as much as 500%, more than 100%, especially when you are talking about coins on launch pad or coins on pre-sale, right? Closing a trading profit can take days or weeks or months when you are trading in cryptocurrency because there can be a market dip and you don't want to sell at a loss. But when you employ the scalping strategy of Forex trading using a robot like Intelligent Prime Capital, you can actually make profits every day non-stop. That's another difference, right? You can experience open trades because you don't want to sell at a loss for weeks or months. There are some trades that I have on Royal Q right now, even though I'm still trading with them, that have lasted me since, because they are presently in what do you call it? Presently in a loss position. I've kept those losses far back in November, but I'm holding on because I know that, you know, it's always an up and down. It's like an elastic. It goes up, goes down, and all that stuff. But trades are closed on every Friday and resumes every Monday when you are using the Intelligence Prime Capital. You don't have open trades like that. They close their trades every Friday and they normally close in profit. In fact, throughout last week, I never made any loss using that particular robot trading the Forex market. Now, let's go further. In terms of regulation, you know, in most places, cryptocurrency is just embracing regulations and all that stuff. So I'm going to be very quick to tell you that the Royal Q robot is not regulated. Don't be bothered. Don't be bothered. Let me tell you why you shouldn't be bothered. Because your money is extremely safe. And let me tell you why your money is extremely safe. The robot cannot, if you have an account in Binance, for instance, the robot cannot touch 1 penny of your money. It can only trade for you and close trades because you have only bound the robots via what you call API. You have only bound the robot via API and you have ticked there that it cannot withdraw. So you are very safe. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Intelligence Prime Capital robot is regulated in 3 countries, Canada, US, and Australia. They have various forms of registrations and all that stuff with them. But that's not to say they are perfect. You understand? Even banks in Nigeria that, even the world over, that are regulated, they still crash and all that stuff. But at least that gives you a level of comfort. My statements are always being factual. I don't want to give you illusionary statements because we are talking reality here, right? There is nothing that has a perfect state. Now, if you go into any of this Royal Q or Intelligence Prime Capital, both have an affiliate scheme. Just the same way Binance have affiliate scheme if you get people to register under you to use Binance as an exchange, or Huobi or whatever. A lot of people have affiliate program. People have misconceptions that if you have an affiliate program, probably you are doing, yes, multi-level marketing. But the world has got multi-level marketing in the sense that, you know, you have to give incentives for people to market for you and bring in customers for you. So it's something that everybody does right now, but you have to do it in an ethical way. So that's important. Now, cryptocurrency trading knowledge is needed when you are trading in cryptocurrency, right? At least you have to have a level of understanding. But for the Imperial Prime Capital, the robot is so automated that even if you don't have any experience at all, just buy the robot and it will trade for you. Now, your funds are safe in an exchange wallet with Binance, Huobi, or any other exchange you are using when you are using Royal Q or any other robot at that, right? Be it 3 commas or whatever. Now, for Intelligence Prime Capital, they use what they call, they trade on MetaTrader 4. You have MetaTrader 4, you have MetaTrader 5, right? So with Intelligence Prime Capital, you can monitor your trades on a daily basis. You can monitor your trades on a daily basis. So you know that your money is basically safe and all that stuff. And you can withdraw also on a daily basis. Once your money is in your USDT account with the brokers, in your wallet, in the broker's dashboard, you can withdraw on a daily basis. So I'm going to tell you just a few more. There are just like 3 more. Now, for our Royal Q, only when trades close in profit will your exchange wallet be credited, except you want to sell at a loss. So you cannot have your exchange wallet credited from the robots if you are not in profit, because it's already following your parameters. But if you want to sell at a loss because you urgently need money, you can sell at a loss. But profit can be withdrawn every Saturday and every day once you have money in your wallet with Intelligence Prime Capital, because it uses a more sophisticated Forex trading algorithm that, you know, finishes your trade in profit. Now, in terms of commission, those robots have to earn money somehow. Royal Q charges 20% on your profits, not on your capital, on your profit. Broker's commission with Intelligence Prime Capital also is 20%, right? Now, to begin, to buy a robot, if you want to buy a robot with Royal Q, they charge you $120 per year. That's apart from your trading equity. To buy the robot is $120, and that's about the cheapest. That's one of the reasons, I will be honest with you, why I started trading with Royal Q. Because other robots like 3 commas, Gumbot, and all the rest of it, they will tell you that they are charging you on a monthly basis, right? Come on, what are they doing that Royal Q is not doing for me? So that's why I stuck with Royal Q. I pay, that's an average of just $10 per month, right? But this one, you pay one-time payment, and it's for the whole year. Now, on the other hand, Intelligence Prime Capital has a lifetime robot fee. Once you pay your robot fee, the only other fee you'll be paying on a regular basis every week is your 20% broker's fee. So they give you one-off for the acquisition of the robot. And it's between 19.90 and 99.90, depending on the kind of robot you want to acquire. And this, again, is one of the cheapest in the market. Please don't call me names, because a lot of people think that I'm a cheap slate, right? So that's that for that. Now, minimum equity is $10 if you want to trade with cryptocurrency on the Royal Q. And for, what do you call it? Intelligence Prime Capital, the minimum trading fee is $100. Just give me a minute, just 1 minute. Let me check Okay, I'm back with you. I'm back with you now. Okay, now I've handled all the differences and all that stuff. Now, let's look at IP capital. I don't even need to go neck deep into IP capital right now, but I've just mentioned a couple of reasons why it would make sense to use IP capital. They have 24 hours analysis. They do real-time market analysis. They are fully regulated. They do R&D, and they accept digital currencies for payment. So you don't need to go through your bank. You don't need to go through your bank and all that stuff. Now, I told you that they have three kinds of robots. They have the one for 99.90, which gives a profit of between 9% to 15% on a monthly basis. They have the Brilliant Bot, which gives profit of 15% to 30%. They have sorry, 1 minute. Sorry about that. I needed to quickly attend to something. Okay, I told you the Genius Bot. The Genius Bot is for 99.90 and it gives 30 to 45%. Now, let me be very sincere with you. This is what is on the white paper, right? But on personal experience, I've been experiencing about 30% on a monthly basis, right? 30% on a monthly basis. And if you're doing 30% on a monthly basis, I think that is fair enough. Then they will remove their 20% as in charges. I doubt if that is not pretty fair for a trader. I have about 14 more minutes, so I'm almost through. Now, how often does the Forex trading robot trade for? It trades just 1 to 4 trades every day. It doesn't just trade at random. It trades 1 to 4 trades every day, depending on the robot you pick. As I said before, you need a minimum equity of $100, right? And the range is between 19.90 and 99.90 for the robot. I've said that earlier. Now, this is another exciting part that I won't feel nice if I do not address. Now, with digital assets and all that stuff, several issues have come up. And some of the problems with digital assets is the issue of transfer from one person to the other, right? Many of the control issues related to access and transfer ability and are maintained by individual companies. Some consequences of this include what is to become of the assets once the owner is deceased. We'll all die one day. Who acquires those assets, right? As well as can and if so, how may they be inherited? For instance, let me tell you something for what do you call it? For free, right? All my platforms, I have somebody that I trust so much, right? I won't mention the name here, that has access to those platforms. So in case any of us can go any day, we have access to, we know that the people that we left behind will not just lose on the thousands of dollars that we have in our digital wallets and all that stuff. So it's important you have a backup. And I believe that as digital currency develops also, we are going to have custodians or trustees that you can store your details with so that they have access to them as well. Your dependents have access to them as well. So a typical example is of this breach was with Bruce Willis, which I guess that most of us know, alleged looking to sue Apple as the end user agreement prevented him from bequeathing his iTunes collection to his children, right? iTunes collection is an asset. I told you about sound and all that stuff. So we have such cases and we need to handle those issues of transfer of ownership and stuff like that. Now, controversial ecological concerns relating to sustainability of mining operations. Several advocates have argued that banking operations and oil and gas production use more energy than cryptocurrency mining. So why all the fuss? When even mining, I have read research that says mining oil and gas banking, they use more energy, and yet we are carrying cutlasses, guns, rifles, that cryptocurrency mining, we should put a stop on it. Now, the foot dragging of many nations on CBDC, is another major issue because it will ease up international trade, right? Some countries are fully launched their own digital currencies like Bahamas, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Lucia, and Grenada. China and Nigeria also are obviously in their testing stage. Nigeria started off, then they had to call it pretty short at a particular time. Now, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin adoption particularly, there are several cities that are fully deep into Bitcoin adoption for their commerce. You have San Francisco, Vancouver, Amsterdam, you have Slovenia, you have Tel Aviv, you have New Amsterdam, you have several others. There are so many that are adopted, right? You have Miami, you have El Salvador, you have New York, you have London. And now when you're looking at runner-ups, what I mean by runner-ups is that other regions become more accepting on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, include Cyprus and Malta, as well as countries experiencing economic uncertainties and currency volatility. We discussed that earlier, such as Venezuela and Zimbabwe. A lot of Zimbabwean investors and entrepreneurs have started accepting Bitcoin. And we also have a lot of investors and everyday individuals using Bitcoin in Venezuela as well. So guys, that's it. I was able to deliver on time. Over to you, Adiola, and over to you.
All right, Yomi, thank you so much. I'm sure we've all gained one thing or the other, and it's almost impossible to do justice to it even in 3 hours. I know it's it's a lot, but we've all learned. So let's kick the ground running and go to the question and answer session. I know a lot of people have questions to ask, and especially for those that are foundational people. I know 1 or 2 of us already have some knowledge of it and are already dealing in crypto. I can see even from the chat, guys talking about helium and what have you. So having said that, if you have a question, let's just be orderly about it. You can kindly unmute and just ask your question. We have about 30 minutes to do that. Because of time.
But should I suggest people raise their hand and you just select?
Yeah, Zoom style. If you have a question, just raise your hand. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. You can stop sharing your screen. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, thank you. I'm here with you.
So if you have any question, okay, we have
Bukola.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. That was a lot of information. I mean, useful information. So for beginners like me, people like me, is this going to be the only? I mean, did I say the only class, or how can you help us? I mean, move us through or guide us into getting all of this things.
Fantastic.
Okay. Practically.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to share my. There's some background noise. Sorry. Bukola, you can mute now. I've heard your question. You can mute now. When you want to talk again, you can start. Now I'm going to share my WhatsApp phone number on the chat. I'll share my WhatsApp phone number. But I need to understand, how do you want to start? For beginners, as you said, obviously there are 2 ways to start. 1, acquired and relevant knowledge. That might cost you money and time. Or 2, use a robot. If you are using a robot, I can easily guide you to. I have a YouTube channel. I relate with people one-on-one. That's why I'm going to give you my WhatsApp, depending on what you want to invest in. We have seen the pros and cons of even using a robot, whatever kind of robot you want to use, whether in crypto or in Forex. I've shown you the pros and cons. So decide, right? I'm not going to tell you that this is the kind of trade you should go into, whether it's Forex or crypto. I've presented both sides of the coin to you. So I've told you it's either you use the robot or you go and learn. If you are going to learn, which I feel is also important, I also organize sessions. Some of my sessions are one-on-one, no bars session, in which I have a cluster of people or just 1-2 individuals, and I reel off my head because I've been in this space for a while. I can teach you how to use the Fibonacci and all the rest of them, and we go through it practical. But if you want the fast method approach using the robot, I can always guide you through step by step on how to acquire the robot, how to fund your robot, how to start trading and start earning almost immediately. I can also guide you through that. Do you have further clarifications to make, Bukola? Hello, Bukola. Hello? Is Bukola
yes,
there?
thank you.
Yes.
I'm
so
here.
I hope I'm clear in what I've just said.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I will drop my number right now. What state are you in, Nigeria?
No. I'm in California.
Okay, California. So I'm going to drop my number right now. That's my WhatsApp number. +234 8033 026 237. And the name is Yomi Martins, as I was introduced earlier. Right? I've just dropped my number now. It's in the chat room. So you can chat me up on WhatsApp. Chat me up on WhatsApp, then we'll take it up from there. Would that be all? Hello, Bukola.
All right, she said thank you already on the chat box.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm here.
All right, while we're waiting for any, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What kind of money should one invest in Forex or crypto trading? Is it your investment, your hustle money, your money you don't need, or, you know?
See, it's a no-brainer. That's why I always give a disclaimer during every training I do, right? I always give a disclaimer. Put in money because of the volatility of the market. You can become a millionaire overnight and you can lose substantially, if not everything, also overnight. Don't let that scare you, because most of these robots have safety nets, right? They have safety nets. You can't just lose your money that way. But we always advise, do not trade money you cannot lose. Now, let me tell you what I do on a personal basis. I might not be able to mention the amounts because, well, what $1,000 can do for you might not be what $1,000 can do for me. What $5,000 can do for me might not be what $5,000 can do for you as well. But let me tell you something. I have been so planned out with this crypto investment and Forex particularly, because my favorite is Forex right now, is that basically I put in what pays for my housekeeping, as in the money that I generate there as I'm speaking with you takes care of my bills in the house. It takes care of what do you call it? Food. It takes care of my power. It takes care of my DSTV. It takes care of fuel for my car. It takes care of actually everything. So my other consulting job, basically I see. Do you understand? So if you can plan yourself out that way, depending on the funds you have, you also put yourself on a limit in such a way that you are not greedy to put in too much money, right? You just put in adequate enough that you can turn over time, and you are making cool money week in, week out, and your bills are being paid without you being afraid of losing money. So that's the way I'm going to answer that question.
Okay, fair enough. Since there's no, I have two more to ask you. I'm sure I'll be speaking for others also.
Okay.
When you mentioned about trusting somebody with your password, your investment, be it on Binance, blockchain, and what have you, is that person, in your case, is it person in your family?
Yes, the
Okay.
person is my family. And let me even tell you an addition. The person is not, well, I don't want to say what I'm not supposed to say, because you know, I don't know how many people will be watching this. But let me tell you something about life. To be very sincere with you, we say don't trust anybody, and that is the truth. Don't trust anybody. But the truth is this also. You cannot afford not to have one person that can beat your chest that may we all live long, if I die, my money is in this person's hands. It's digital currency. You can't put your password in your will. It's not possible. Because you might, most of these platforms change, they will prompt you to change password every now and then. So you are constantly changing password. Do you understand what I mean? So you can't continue to call your lawyer on a daily basis to tell your lawyer that I've changed my password to my Binance account, or I've changed my password to my Intelligence Prime Capital account. Help me change it. That is the risk inherent. And it is basically because the digital currency era is evolving. I'm sure, like I mentioned earlier, I'm sure we'll start having custodians, just like we have custodians for our will. For instance, in Nigeria, you have first trustees, you have I think Union Bank custodian that they can manage your estates, right? They can manage your estates. You can even have a discussion with any of those custodians that do they have a custodianship for your passwords, even in the United States or whatever, anywhere else. Do you understand? There must be somebody you can trust. Because until we have custodians that handle passwords, right? And we can't say because we don't have custodians that handle passwords, we will not trade in cryptocurrencies and everything. But at least you know, if there is a compromise, it can be traced. I think that's fair enough.
All right. Can it be a full-time hustle dealing in crypto and Forex? Is this something one can do full-time?
Of course. Let me tell you something. That's why I said for beginners and for professionals. I have some boys, I won't mention their names, that on an average, and I'm not exaggerating, they don't even use robots. On an average, I have a friend that takes home of Forex trading every blessed month. He takes home nothing less than $10,000 to $12,000 on a monthly basis. Do you understand? So some people trade this, and that's just it. And to be very sincere with you, let me tell you something, and it will be the truth. I do consulting, I facilitate sessions and all that stuff. I can comfortably tell you that cryptocurrency and Forex trading account for approximately 20 to 25% of my income. And I think that's quite large. So if you say people are doing that as a profession, that is very, very possible. So people are in their house and they are in front of they're on CNN listening to fundamentals. They're on their system watching Trading View, because that's what I use, Trading View. And they're looking at movements in the markets. And they're looking at currencies that it will affect. And they are cashing out on a daily basis. Right? I don't want to tell you how much I cashed out today, right? But the issue is that when I tell you that it accounts for 20 to 25% of my income on a monthly basis, I think that is fairly substantial.
So technically speaking, it's a game of volume. The more you put in, the more you make money.
Beautiful. But you must also do that game of volume based on your risk appetite. And you must be careful. The Even if you are using a robot, I beg you, ensure you do your due diligence. I will not pitch my tent into something I've not done. That's why I didn't mention, there are so many robots. That's why I didn't mention other robots. I mentioned three commas, I mentioned Gumbot, I mentioned so many others, right? Unfortunately, I didn't mention other Forex trading robots. I just mentioned other cryptos. But there are so many, but I'll only talk about the ones that I've done a little bit of due diligence on. And please do not take my due diligence as in stamped, sealed, and delivered. Do your own due diligence as well, as I have done my own due diligence, right? Before I have the confidence in bringing it up and all that stuff. So very much, of course, it's a wonderful, it's about risk appetite, it's about doing your background study, and it's about ensuring you are not too greedy. You are not greedy. If you have removed greed out of it, right, let me tell you something. I'm always telling you something. I pay fees in terms of even courses that I attend in cryptocurrencies and Forex based on the income I make. Because when people ask me questions, I have to be knowledgeable enough and experienced enough to be able to answer those questions. I will not stand in front of you and you ask me a question that I will not be able to answer. Do you understand? So I train myself constantly, even with the fee, the income that I generate from Forex and cryptocurrency trading. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Mr. Adebayo, okay, sorry. Can we take Mr. Adebayo?
I want to say a very big thank you for the quality 1 hour. Naturally, you pay a lot to do this. I want to say God will reward your labor of love. Mr. Adeolu, I don't know how you're able to package this. God bless you for the quality time. We look forward to share good story out of this. I just want to say thank you because I didn't pay a dime to be here. We thank God for your time and the sacrifice. I just want to appreciate you for this quality time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let me tell you something, Mr. Adebayo. As I said, yes. I've dropped my line in the chat. If peradventure you have other questions that might not come to mind right now, and you want to clarify issues with me, and that goes for every other person also, you can, my doors are very open. You can chat me up and I would be able to sort you out.
God bless you for that. Really grateful. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, too. Mr. Adiola, Mr. Balo. Mr. Adiola Balogun, is he still there?
I'm here. There are 2 questions.
Okay.
I want to read them out.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know, that's Dolapo, how do you enter the pre-sale market? That's the first question. So I want you to take the 2 so that I don't have to come back to. The second one is, do you know of any BOT that can trade options contracts too?
Okay, let me start with the second question. Do I know any BOT that can trade options contracts?
Yes.
No. Because let me tell you something. The funny thing is this, some of the ones that I've mentioned right now, right? Be it 3 commas, be it Gumbot and all that stuff. There are functionalities that I've not experimented with. I've only told you the functionalities that I've experimented with. So I will need to do a research and probably get back to you on that. So I think it's Bukola that asked that question on options contract, right? Please remind me that question and I'll give you a feedback. Remind me on WhatsApp. I'll give you a feedback on that question, right? Because there are other aspects of trading we have not talked about. We have not talked about derivatives. We have not talked about futures. We have not talked about options. There are so many that we have not talked about. And I believe there are bots that will be able to trade such, right? Now, in terms of how do you enter the pre-sale market, there are different ways of entry. I'm sure this person that asked this question likes money, because I mentioned that that is the area you actually make a lot of money from. The person asked me that question. Okay, fantastic, I'll answer. Now, the pre-sale market, you can enter in different ways, right? But usually, and the most common is that the coins normally have their own websites, right? So you need to be able to find out, what do you call it? Find out, because if a coin is doing a pre-sale, they are not known yet. So there are risk inherent. What if they don't come into the market? That's the risk inherent. That means you have to find out the people behind that coin. Now, assuming it is Martin's coin coming out into the market, you need to find out who are the guys behind Martin's coin, right? Who are the promoters? Who are the backers? They must have raised money. Who have raised money for them? Are they blue chip organizations that have raised money for them? Now, on their sites, they would have advertised that they are doing pre-sale on this and that. Now, there are some websites, the names cannot, because I didn't know that we are going to go really deep into this. There are websites that actually announce pre-sales, right? But you also need to be careful because there are risk inherent. Because there are some pre-sales that you buy and, mommy, you just bought dust because they will never get listed. So you need to be careful. You do your due diligence to ensure that the backers are very solid people behind them. For instance, if a coin comes out, Martin's coin, for instance, and somebody and a group like Gemini, obviously I know you all know Gemini. Gemini is backing me up and threw in probably $300 million US, and Kraken, a major exchange, is also backing up that coin. You know that you have a measure of confidence because Scalping, Gemini has thrown in their weight behind that. So there are several factors before you even ask, how do you know about pre-sale? You can easily know about pre-sale. There are sites. If you contact me, I'll show you some of those sites and all that stuff that normally have information of pre-sale coins, and we can share that as we go along. But as I said, always be careful the projects that you pitch your tent with. I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Fantastic. I think it's important to add that this group, we call it the Continental Group. Some of you are in our WhatsApp group, some of you are not. What we try to do is try and bring people like Yomi, who is one of our members also, to share knowledge on how we can synergize. So I will crave the indulgence of Yomi to, let's take this to another level in 4 weeks' time. You know, let's take it. In 2 weeks' time, we have somebody talking to us about agriculture.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we want to see if we can, the Continental Group, we just want to, like a Chatham House, bring resource people, synergy. I'm sure before we do 6 months, we never know. We could have an oil company, we could have our own investment group or something, but we need to rub minds. Yeah. We're all scattered around the world. Nigerians, we do things very well individually. Collectively, it's looking like it's impossible, but we'll break that rule. We'll cross that barrier. And I mean, when COVID started, I just saw it. Man, this Zoom, people were not really looking at Zoom. I jokingly told 2 people I invested in Zoom, and unfortunately, I didn't do as much as the people are advised. I still regret it today. I know somebody, yes, I know somebody that put his entire savings in Zoom. The guy doesn't work anymore, you know. In
the shares, you mean?
In the shares, yeah, he bought shares.
Yeah.
It
was a risk. It was a risk.
It was a risk. Zoom was $20-something dollars. Zoom ended up over $300. Can you imagine somebody doing 100,000 or $1 million, you know?
But meanwhile, Adiola, do you know that Zoom also could have crashed?
It could have crashed, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's a win or lose.
It's a win or lose. So,
the same way with cryptocurrency and Forex.
So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Emeka, I appreciate you always. Bayo Teju, great guy. You're always there for us. Babate Fashino, my friend from way back. Thank you. Bukola, you're awesome. Bukola, put your number on the chat. I'll add you to our forum. And you've been quiet, but thanks for joining. Awesome time. Sister Mayomi, great. Don't worry. I'm going to link you directly with Yomi. She really wants to learn. I'm sure she's taking note. Dolapo, my brother from another mother. Thank you so much. Mr. and Mrs. Marsh. Mrs. Marsh knows you. She said you guys were about PhD together. She's Yomi.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
my alarm lost.
That's
nice one.
John Oppo, I'm sure you trade crypto without saying. I know your question, your points. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
crypto. I do Forex.
Forex.
I do NFT.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
I just bought one
nice
yesterday.
Yeah. Add your number to the...
Sorry, Diola. Please, the person that said he does NFT, right?
That's John Oppo.
Yes.
Please, can you chat me on WhatsApp later on also? Let's rub minds. I might have some questions because, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
You understand? I know a bit about NFT as well, but based on the fact, but I don't do it that much.
Yeah.
I might learn a thing or two from you as well.
Actually, NFT is my specialty now. I also do crypto. Because I'm in AML, so I also specialize in investigation of cryptocurrencies. Like if a fraud is committed, I can track the cryptocurrency to wherever it is.
Beautiful.
And,
please, let's chat on WhatsApp. Thank you so much.
I do those. Yeah.
So,
I want to add something to the person that asked, how do you get pre-sale? You get it from launch pads. There are also blue chip launch pads that when you go there, any project you see, you will be sure that, these projects are backed by real brands like Animoca brands, like you said, Gemini, and there are a whole list of them. And for you to get into these projects, you have to have a kind of stake in the coin of that launch pad. So sometimes, like recently, it's been very costly to get into those launch pads. But if someone came in like early January when it looked like Bitcoin crashed, a lot of other coins crashed with it, just like you said, Yomi. Some even crashed 20%. There's one launch pad the thing crashed. I bought it $1.25. It crashed to like 50 cents, but it's going back to within a couple of days now. It's back to like around 90 cents. So you really have to have money to be able to enter into those launch pads. Some require $25,000, some $10,000 for you to really buy something substantial in those. Just like Yomi said, in 2 days, you will see you get like 500 times what you invested, 500 times. So imagine if you invest $100, what you will get. So it's going crazy out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And let me quickly add, sorry, Adiola, before you continue. Let me quickly add, there is exchange launchpad and there is out of exchange launchpad.
Yes.
Exchange launchpad, you would have done the pre-sale on the website of the coin. So let's put that into perspective.
Initial exchange offering, IEO.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much.
John, leave your number on the chat group so that I can add you to the Continental WhatsApp forum. I'm sure in maybe 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you come and talk to us about the risk management level of this. So
no problem.
Okay, I've seen that. So before we go, one question. Somebody just sent me a text about you've heard of all these Watermine, all these groups that come for Forex trading. They say people bring money, they double it, all this, Antares, all those funny names. So a cousin of mine that is not attending just sent me. She lost money because those groups went off the radar. She just sent me that she will ask about that, and it's a good thing we're still here.
Beautiful. Now there are several fly-by-night Forex and cryptocurrency platforms out there, right? There are several. I can't start mentioning names right now. I did a video on my WhatsApp channel, Time Out with Yomi Martins, on how to recognize scams, basically. Now, scams are like this. One, they do not have any tangible products that they are selling. They just tell you, bring people in and all that stuff. Now, even if they tell you that they are selling tangible products, they give you the same results every day. That means, assuming you got 10% today, tomorrow 10%, next tomorrow 10%, blah, as in it is a regular pattern. That is a red flag that this scheme is not credible. 3, they don't suffer loss. How can you be trading in Forex or crypto and there is no point in time in which you have close to loss or at least some loss. You understand? That's another angle. 4, they are not regulated or registered at all. They are not regulated or registered at all. That's another sign. Like I told you, in terms of, I've done some, my verification might not be perfect, right? There are always exceptions to the rule. But I mentioned registration in Canada, US, and Australia. You need to find out where these exchanges are regulated as well or registered as well. 5, is it 5 or 6? Okay, anyone shall, let me continue. They do not show you how to monitor your results. For instance, in Intelligence Prime Capital, you can monitor your daily results on MetaTrader 4. MetaTrader 4 is a trading system that you can actually, monitor. That's what brokers use, basically. And you have an account with MetaTrader 4, you can monitor your daily income, which currencies they traded, which one did they sell, which one did they buy, you will see it there. But when you have a platform that does not show you what is being sold and what is being bought, that is another red flag, right? Have I left anything out? Those are the red flags that you need to look out for. So, but that doesn't mean that you now say that every one of them is a fraud. You obviously need to do your due diligence. And as we said earlier, play with money you can afford to lose. Don't test the waters with 2 legs. Always test the water with 1 leg. Build your confidence, make your money, then you can increase. So that before assuming there's anything wrong, you would have collected your money and made some interest before anything wrong happens. Do you understand? So that's it. That's the comment I can make. I don't know whether I've been able to address that.
No problem. John, do you want to add anything?
Yes. Just like Yomi said, the number one thing I usually tell people is you should go for any program that lacks transparency. You shouldn't go for that. Also, just like he said, there are other this kind of schemes that you should go for copy trading. Yeah, that one is better because you can look at what's going on in your account. You can yank the guy off anytime you want.
Yeah.
So it's easy to copy someone than to give somebody for somebody to have access to your money. You should also still have control. So whatever you go for, you should still have control. Do a lot of, what I do is, I do a lot of, I check out a lot of things. So I just search for those people. You can just, let's say the name is, quantum trader. You can just go to Google, search quantum trader or quantum trading reviews. Search those people out, look at their websites. When did the website start? Yeah, because I have a kind of ways. If like I was sharing my screen, I'll show you the kind of things I look at, when the website started. Sometimes I look at their Twitter, I audit the Twitter. There are applications out there you can use to audit Twitter to see if they have fake followers or real followers, because you can go out there and buy fake followers, So I check all those things, do reviews. Once you start typing them in Google, especially when you type and you see any site that comes from Reddit, people will always review things in Reddit. You can also go to Reddit and check them out. Yeah, Reddit is a very good resource. Reddit is just like a Naira land in Nigeria. Yeah, so you go there, like back in the day when I was in Nigeria, we used to get these fake job interviews and stuff. If you just type the name of those people on Naira land, you see people talking about them. You know whether they're right. So Reddit also serves that kind of purpose. You search Reddit, search Quora, but basically Reddit. They will tell you 1 or 2 things, because there are a lot of rock pools out there now, especially in crypto, NFT. It's crazy. You just put your money, it goes. In fact, not only that the money goes, they also collect the one in your wallet. So
they hack your wallet.
Yes.
You need to be careful.
I hear Reddit is doing pre-sale right now with shares.
Oh, okay. I don't really know. I'm not following that. Now I'm just focusing on NFTs. crazy things are happening there. Even though the gas fees are discouraging people from buying NFTs in OpenSea, but you can do on Solana, you can do on I forgot a Polygon, I think. Yeah, but basically I do Solana. Once in a while I buy it in Ethereum platform.
Ethereum
they
is
have blue chip NFTs there. Like one I just bought, I say, you know, I don't have too much money, so I just bought a $1,000 NFT. Yeah.
Balo, do you see what I'm saying? He said it doesn't have too much money, just bought $1,000.
Wow. Anyway, so it's a good way to round up. We'll be here again in 2 weeks' time. All the details will be on the platform. We're going to talk more about agriculture next week.
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
Yomi's number is there if you want to reach out to him.
Okay.
So we're going to bring in John, I think in 6 weeks or 8 weeks time. I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
So what we have is just the continental group. Let's roll by theirs. Let's talk. Let's, you know, the concept initially was that those of us in Canada, I'm in Atlanta, people in Canada, America, Europe.
Yeah, I'm in Canada.
People in Europe and Nigeria, Lagos. How can we synergize? What can we do together? So there were too many backs and forths. Okay, good. Let's warehouse our idea. Let's start talking. You know, before we think of something substantial, there's a lot we can do together. So we have started today with Yomi, and I'm very happy that you have joined us. We have we're going to talk about parenting in future. We have people that can help us with that. We're going to talk about migrating. You know, when you migrate, how to survive, advice on immigration, what have you, and you know, we're going to delve on some issues of faith also. We have people amongst us that are very good at it. So we're not going to limit ourselves. This is just a place to warehouse knowledge, synergize. Because I've observed personally that we do well as Nigerians individually, but there's a lot of lacuna in that collective effort. And for some reason, I am hell-bent on us just crossing it. We can't just go on like that.
Yes.
You know, So thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I just want to add some more. I agree with you absolutely. Even in this crypto, there are a lot of groups out there. They are doing things collectively because the way it is now, it's only people that are in groups that make real money, especially when it comes to crypto. For you to make real money fast, you have to enter the pre-sale, and there is like a blockade there. You have to have some money. When it comes to NFTs, you have to enter what they call the white list. Because in the white list, you are given preference to just take your time and buy. And in that white list, when you get it, it's a short thing that you make 100%. It's a short thing. So if you put $10,000, it's a short thing you are getting 20 in a couple of days. Whenever, in fact, once you buy it, it doubles.
Wow. That's
so. Should we take Mr. Adebayo's comments last?
So sorry, please, if I can take this comment. I live in Maryland, and I noticed something in the last. I'm an ecosystem person. I like to look at my environment. Little knowledge that I have in this city showed me that the block goes a long way to go into investment, synergy, and control of resources. I'll be able to expand it later. By the time we start having some other meetings, I've been able to see that people that work in groups, when it comes to investment, you'll be amazed the kind of the filling stations in Maryland are controlled by the Israelis. I got into a city, in Prince George's County, and there are Pakistanis that control the laundromat and so many other investments. And these are the investment that has between 20 to 30% returns on investment on a daily basis. I got into some Nigerians, they are doing so well in DC, about 20 of them, they work together. They've been able to, they are even putting people in politics now. They are putting people in the House of Assembly, they are putting people in the Senate. That's why this group, this division God has given to Balo, and we all have to, I don't know. I think to be here for me is divine for me. I don't know about you. And that's why I will never take it lightly. And I want to say a very big thank you to everyone on board. God bless you.
God bless you too.
Bukola has an answer. Okay, Bukola.
I think that will be the last one, right?
Yeah, Bukola is the last one. We have to round up, but I'm time bound too.
Thanks a lot. I'm so grateful for I'm out of work, but I suggest Mr. John said, can we have a group that we can put together? Let's start working together. I've seen that work for other races, like the Asians, the Mexicans, and all.
Your audio is very bad. We can't hear you well.
Yeah, I'm picking it a bit. Maybe I'll interpret. All right, Bukola, what she's majorly saying is that the collectivity idea, if we can come together, pull results. We're getting there. Don't worry, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm sure maximum by the end of February, we should have something substantial to move forward. We are talking. That's why we have the forum. That's why we have the back channel. That's why we have everybody here. That's why we are integrating. That's why we are synergizing. That's why we are cohabiting. We'll get there. You know, what the key thing is, nobody will be left behind. You understand? I mean, I've seen $100,000, $1 million investment where there are people there that came with 5K. You know, $1 million investment. Some people came with 5K, some people 150K, some people, you understand, you know. I've seen one of the things, I don't live in Canada, but one of the things I admire Pakistani and Indians do in Canada is 4 or 5 people put resources, they buy a house, people migrate. I've seen it in the UK, I've seen it here. All our petrol stations here are owned by India. So I understand what Bayo was trying to say. I understand where you're trying to come from. But I'll tell you categorically, the brainchild for what we're trying to do is synergy. Especially Nigerians, I'm telling you, we have a problem doing things collectively. There's a lot of distrust. We just want to cross that Rubicon. A lot of us are Christians, so we are people of faith. We just want to get things done. We want to make it clear that there's still a lot of credibility in the land, a lot of it. We are not fraudulent people there. People, I mean, I know people that are doing very great things, extremely great things. I'm telling you that things you only associate with white people. They are doing extraordinary. I know a lot of wealthy people that they walk past you won't even know what they have. You understand, you know? So let's leave it at that. God bless you all. I pray you all have a fantastic 2020. It is our year of claiming what belongs to us, directly or indirectly, and God is with us. Thank you. Thank you. All other information will be communicated via the WhatsApp group. Take care and God bless you all. Peace out. Dollar
bye. Bye, everyone.
My arms, John. Emeka, my man. God bless you, man.
Hello, everyone.
Later. Never reliable. God bless you. God bless you, man. Please, you can let's see your pictures before you go. Just
that's me. And that's my NFT at the background.
All right, cool. I'll get it. Don't worry. I'll get it. God bless you.
Bye.
God bless you all.
All right, God bless you.
Thank you, Yomi.
Let's see your pictures, guys.
Bye.
Okay.